It's the comfort zone stuff, isn't it?
So,
well, maybe this is an element of you getting out of your comfort zone. Because if you don't need to make that money, and it's like we're saying, we're trying to get that $1 million, like what's $1,000 a month when you're trying to make $1 million a day?
making $1 million is a skill.
But that's the level you're playing at. You know what I mean? And this is where it's so interesting. You've got to get out of your way. You've got to get into that space and get out of your comfort zone.
So if you earn 200K, which is a decent wicket, you cost yourself 800K that year. Cost yourself. Now, if I told you that you're going to have to pay me 800K because you haven't learned the skills you need to make $1 million, what are you going to do?
You made $1 million yet? If not, what the fuck's going on?
You know what? I like this podcast so much because it allows us to stop and think about stuff that I haven't thought about in a while.
Do you know, I was thinking about the same thing in the sense of, this is going to blow your mind if you do the same thing. It's like, you look at people that say, I'm going to devote this amount of time to making this amount of money and going out there and achieving it.
Yeah.
And it's like, how come I'm playing a bigger game?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, why aren't I setting that same goal for myself? I want to go, cool, man, this year, we still got 9 months left in the year. This year, I'm going to make $5 million in net profit.
Okay. There is a great video where Alex Hormozi pulls up a lady on stage and he's like, okay, and he writes $1 million on the board. And he's like, how much did you make? And then she says, 50,000. And he goes, okay, so 1 million minus 50,000, 950,000. He's like, you cost yourself $950,000 this year. She's like, what do you mean? He's like, by not taking the time to learn the skills on how to make $1 million, you cost yourself $950,000. He goes, no one actually draws this out and thinks about that. He goes, but making $1 million is a skill. Because if you learned how to make $5 million a year and then you lost everything, you'd get back to 5 mil pretty quick because you have the set of skills and beliefs, right? So creating the set of skills and beliefs to make $1 million is just about you devoting the time to learning that and that growth. And then it's like every time you're not, every year you don't, you cost yourself whatever you earned that year off $1 million. So if you earn 200K, which is a decent wicket, you cost yourself 800K that year. Cost yourself. Now, if I told you that you're going to have to pay me 800K because you haven't learned the skills you need to make $1 million, what are you going to do? And is that in line with what you're doing now? Probably not. You know what? Definitely not. I can tell you that mine aren't in line with that because I probably wouldn't sleep. If you told me I got to pay 100K at the end of the year, I'd be like, what? 800? No sleep, no nothing, no going anywhere, not doing anything. We're devoting everything to creating an offer, a product, a skill, a service to make sure that we can deliver this and make over 7 figures by the end of this year profit.
So why haven't you done that?
I'm going to, there's no, see why I love this podcast?
Luckily for our viewers, you've come in to the right place.
Yeah.
You have tuned into the right place. $1 Million days. That's what it's about.
That's
about
exactly
business, about life, playing a bigger game, and stop playing so small. So you've definitely come to the right place. Yeah, oh, man, this is sick. All right. This is cool.
What would it take?
But it's also in line with, it's obviously not that important to you. Because if we said, yeah, you got to pay $800,000 by the end of the year, or I'm going to take one of your kids away.
Yeah.
You're finding a way to make 800K this year.
100%.
Or you're going to make 800K this year, or I'm taking both your legs.
Yeah, you'll do it.
You're going to be in a wheelchair.
So, yeah, okay.
So what is perhaps there's not that trigger there.
So, okay, here. George, you need to make 5 mil in the next 8 months, 7 months. Can you do it just as is?
Right now,
Yeah.
what I'm doing right now.
You make 5 mil in profit, in net profit in your bank account cash.
With what I'm doing today? No.
Yeah. Okay. Can you do it though? Like,
Absolutely.
no, I'm asking the wrong person. Most people, if you say it to them, like, are you going to do it this year? You're going to do 5 mil net profit?
Net profit? No, I'm not.
You're not going to do it. Okay. Now, if I told you you need to do 5 mil net profit by the end of the year, or we're going to take both your kids.
Yeah.
Are you going to do it?
Absolutely. But nothing would stop me.
The amount hasn't changed. The time hasn't changed. You haven't changed in the sense of your level of skill. Like, it's not like I said that to you and all of a sudden you've acquired all this new knowledge.
Yeah.
The only thing that changes is how willing you are to commit to doing it.
That's right.
Right? And it's like this podcast has gone so left of field, but that whole scenario that he draws up on the screen on the flip chart is just giving you that vision of what you're actually costing yourself. It's what they refer to as the invisible hand. We can't see what's not hurting us. You know what I mean? Dude, I'm guilty of this too. You get comfortable, make a little bit of money.
See, here's the thing though. I'm not comfortable.
Hey?
I'm not comfortable. And when I say I'm not comfortable, I'm comfortable in the sense that I'm protected. I'm not being evicted. I'm not hungry.
Yeah.
I'm comfortable in that regard.
That's comfort.
Yeah, maybe, but I'm still
Comfort of...
I'm highly agitated by the fact that
Yeah, but you know what's
don't
more
have that.
agitating? You know what's more agitating? Your rent is due in 3 weeks and there's no money in your account.
yeah.
That's more agitating.
Yeah, without a doubt.
And it's like that level of uncomfortability is almost what you need to be able... Because
You make it happen.
you know what? Here, maybe... This is sick.
Too much.
I came back from China. My mum took my car. She said, can I borrow it while you're gone? And I said, sure. I don't even drive a sick car. I drive a Hyundai i30. She took it. Now she's not giving it back. She's like, I want this car. I have no car, dude.
How good.
Right now, I've got no car.
So how'd you get here today?
I'm driving around in a borrowed car.
Uber?
I wish.
Uber it here?
I
Literally, what, a K? No, how far do you reckon you were from
Nah,
here?
probably a K. Maybe a
K?
K and a half.
You reckon that much?
Not that far. It's close. It'd be like a
I reckon it's 800 meters.
8-minute walk.
Yeah.
7-minute walk. Something like that. It's not far. But I did drive. Nevertheless, that's not the point of the story. The point of the story is this. I don't have a car. I need to buy a car. Spoke to my broker yesterday and he's like, yeah, cool, we can do it. And then I'm sitting there and I'm saying to myself, oh man, do I really need, $1,000, $1,200 a month extra in repayments? And then I'm thinking to myself, and this could just be me convincing myself on a podcast. And I'm thinking to myself, am I too comfortable? Like trying to keep my cost of living down? Do you know what I mean? Because you hear it from wealthy people. Save as much as you can. Don't, you know what I mean? Don't live minimally. Get 100,000, whatever it is, buy a property or go invest in the stock market or invest in business or yourself or whatever it might be, right? And they say to go invest in one of those 4 things and start to build your wealth. And I'm at the point where I'm like, do I do this or do I go buy a runaround? Because I own my car outright. It might be like a 20K car. I owned it outright. I've got no repayments. And then I'm like, do I put myself under strain here and put myself under the pressure of being so uncomfortable that I've got to pay $1,500 next month for this new car that I've just bought in order to drive my business and push me out of my comfort zone? Or do I not? And do I just keep my cost of living down and do the money smart thing?
Yeah, get a scooter.
Get a scooter.
Electric scooter.
Do you know how many times I walk outside my building and there's like 3 scooters there and I'm like, I should just jump on one of these.
Yeah. They're actually pretty fun. I've only ridden them twice. Each time was like so fun, so much fun.
Yeah. I feel like a little kid again.
Yeah. So yes, I like 100% I do. And I'm going to take this another level.
All right.
Because I was listening to a podcast the other day. It was fucking probably the best podcast I've ever listened to in my life. And it was this podcast.
Well done.
Thank you. Thank you.
I was like, where's he going?
Which one is it?
I'm like,
and it was the episode that I don't remember what number it was, but we're talking about going to Zagami.
Listening to this podcast?
I don't fuck around. What's the matter with you? You think we get 1,000 views, downloads a month, and you think
We're way over 1,000.
Are we? Stop it.
Come on.
Are we over 1,000 downloads a month?
Oh, not a month. In total.
Oh, there. Jeez.
Not a month.
At the least.
Still, we average. Do you want to share this live?
Oh, without a doubt. Regardless of this number being 6 or 6,000, I will be
roughly about 400 a month.
Okay. So that's 400 people are downloading this podcast a month to listen to.
Yeah, but so it might be the same person downloading. So it's like on average, probably 100 people. Probably got 100 listeners that listen to this regularly.
Yeah, but that's regardless. Even if you're listening to it for the first time, welcome. Thank you for being here. And if you're a long-time listener, thank you so much for sticking around.
Welcome back.
Regardless of that, that's great that we're getting that level of engagement. And, it's baby steps, It's like taking your top off, being out of shape, saying, here we are, day 1, watch what happens. And then we get to day 75, day 500, day 1,000, and look at where you're going to be. You're going to grow so much in that time. Anyway, back to what we're talking about, listening to an amazing podcast. So the episode I was listening to was actually the one where we're talking about going to the F1 next year.
Yep.
And going in the corporate tent, but not going in the corporate tent via the means of purchasing a ticket to a corporate tent, going by the means of being given tickets. And the way we were going to give those tickets was buying a supercar and getting into, say, the Zagami tent. Say, cool, I'm going to buy this Ferrari from you. It's going to cost this much, and I want to get into the tent. I want 2 tickets. Like, yep, here it is. And the whole idea and the premise behind it, and if you haven't listened to that episode, go back and listen to it because it's a sick episode.
It's a good episode.
It's about, we're going to buy that supercar and pay for that supercar at the one event that we go to. In the sense that we go into the Zagami tent, we're networking with other high net worth individuals and doing deals as we're speaking to them. So it's not like, hey man, how you going? What do you do with yourself? It's like, oh yeah, cool. I'm a broker for ANZ. All right, I get paid $3 million a year. And you go, oh cool, car. Did you buy a car from Zagami? You go, yeah, we actually bought a Ferrari last year. Oh, me too. Which one did you get? Bang. It's like, God, mate, if we can ever help you with anything XYZ, maybe they help us with our business or whatever the connection might be. But the idea is you walk out of there having made deals over those next 4 days that pay for the Ferrari and then some.
Yeah.
And then some. Let's go back to, again, what you were saying with...
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
It is do I put the strain on to push me?
That's right.
You know what I mean? Because, hey, if you need to make $1 million to keep your kids alive, you'll do it.
Yeah, without a doubt.
If you need to make $1 million for the sake of $1 million, the business
will get used to paying for it. And I assume you'll run it through the business, yeah?
I've already got the business loan approved.
Awesome. What car? Actually, tell me later. Don't tell me now.
I don't know. I'll tell you now. You know what?
We should go get 2 of them.
Hey, I was going to buy a Ranger.
I was set. We'll go get 2. I'm in the market.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was going to get a Raptor end of the year.
A Raptor?
Yeah.
I wasn't going to get a Raptor.
Yeah.
I was going to get a Wild Track.
Yeah. That I've got a Wild Track now.
Yeah.
But it's probably
car, dude.
Yeah, they're great cars. They're fantastic cars. And I actually ordered one last year.
Yeah, I remember you told me.
But I ended up cancelling the order
23.
because they took... Yeah, it was a 23.
Yeah, dude, those ones, that's what I'm looking at.
The current shape though.
Yeah, they're sick.
Yeah, they're great cars.
Oh,
beautiful car. The only reason I didn't buy it is they delayed it by so long, by an extra 3 months.
Yeah.
And in that time, I actually bought a completely different car for my wife. And it's like, well, you've missed the boat now. I'm cancelling the order. Like, piss off. And I cancelled the order, and then I said, okay, I'll keep my current Wild Track for another 6 months, and then I'll get rid of it. And then I was, again, similar to what you're saying. I was like, do I just go buy another Raptor, use it for business, all that sort of stuff, make the business decision because it's 100% right. It's a 100% tax write-off for the business. Or do I go out and get that $250,000, $300,000 car?
Yeah, whenever it's AMG.
Whatever I want to buy. And then so there was that driving me. That sort of, I'm still in limbo with that too. I haven't completely decided, and not top of my priorities. But again, coming back to what we're saying. So I recently followed this guy. I can't remember his name. Just liked what he was about, and he was literally saying going there, saying, guys, he goes, go buy a supercar. Stop.
Alberto.
Is it that guy?
And he's like, is the guy that bought a Ferrari and he can't afford it?
Yeah, I think so.
He's like, I spent all my money to get this Ferrari.
Yeah.
He's like, but once I got it, he's like, everything changed.
Yeah.
Which is, just as a disclaimer, don't go buy a Ferrari, go broke. And sit there. I listen to you guys.
Yeah. We don't give financial.
Yeah.
But 100%. So I like the concept behind it because it's almost forcing you to level up. You go, fuck, I got to pay 14 grand at the
because
end of the month
when you're kind of forced to level up, you will kind of level up.
That's right.
But then it's like, are you doing this in reverse? So have you heard about the Donald Trump's friend who used to fly first class everywhere when he couldn't afford to?
No.
He said he used to fly first class everywhere and put the pressure on himself, and then he killed it and he crushed it. And then Donald Trump said, it's not a very smart thing to do because you're putting yourself in financial
distress.
Yeah. But the guy did it and it worked for him. Right. And then it's like, it's
not for everyone.
It's not for everyone. Do you know, are you capable of lifting your game when fucking push comes to shove and you're like, okay, cool, I need to, you ever been in a position where you got to come up with some quick cash? Yeah. And all of a sudden you create a product, find an offer, you know what I mean? And you find ways to boom, boom, boom. And you're like, okay, cool, we filled that gap.
Yeah.
And I think that's what makes a good entrepreneur. Do you know what I mean? And then it's like, it's a, you know, and now I'm in the same position as you now. I'm in limbo. I've got a car that I'm driving around. It's not my car, so I can't have it forever. So I've got a time limit. I don't know what the time limit is. it's a nice car, I don't mind driving it, but I know I need to do something. And I'm like, do I just go and spend 25K and just continue to
Have
build?
another car.
Because then you got like the Alex Hormozis of the world who says, I didn't buy a Bentley till he'd made 100 billion.
Correct.
He's like, I drove a $5,000 car even when I was taking home 1.4 million a month.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, it's like, well, fair enough. Good luck to him. He's a wickedly smart guy. But that was his thing. He made
delayed gratification as well.
Yeah.
And then he's going, I'll get the Bentley.
Well, that's another thing. And then you're like, do I deserve this? Like, am I just trying to cheat the system? Am I leveraging the system? Am I letting other people's thoughts control what I want to do here?
Is this ultimately you deserve it, without a doubt? As in, you don't, like, your permission is the only permission you need. Do you know what I mean? It's not a level of do I deserve it? It's more, is this going to help or hinder where I need to be in business? Because don't forget,
that's what I mean by
you could have a great year this year, and don't forget that vehicle is a tax write-off too. So there's tax benefits for having the vehicle in itself. There's also, so you're not buying it through your disposable income. So that's one thing. Yeah, but you're right. Do I go spend, $60,000, $70,000, $80,000 on that particular vehicle, or do I spend 40 or do I spend 30?
That's my question. I have to buy a car.
That's right. It's still one of those things.
Yeah. And so I'm like, do I get something? Do I go and do I get a car I'm telling myself on the Ranger, there's no other cars, dude. Like, what else are you going to buy? Like, we're going to go buy a Benz. I don't want a Benz.
They're so versatile. Look, that's why they're the number one selling car in the country. As in, maybe not the Ranger itself, but utes. Because people use them not only, say, for work, as a tradie, if that's what you do, but people buy them just as a family car.
Dude, they're big, they're inside, they're nice, they're clean.
They go on holidays, you can tow, you can do everything you need to do.
You can go camping, fit everything in the tray, like you throw shit in the tray, it's just out of your way.
Yep.
It's comfortable to drive.
Very comfortable. They're like cars these days.
This should be sponsored by Ford.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
They should just give you one.
Yeah. I don't know.
That's not as silly as it sounds. You could be an ambassador for them. This episode.
One day, or day one.
Sponsored by Wildtrack.
Sponsored by Wildtrack.
So, I've got conflicting opinions here in the sense that I'm also a big advocate for, do it when you're ready. Don't force yourself if you don't need to. But also, man, like, you've got to reap the rewards. You've been working hard for a while now. You know what I mean? Like, reward yourself too. Cool, I'm going to get this. And then the next level is, okay, well, I need to come up with, as you said, $1,000 a month. A month now to have this car sitting there. Yeah. And you might only drive 10,000 Ks a year.
Because then here's the thing. You say, here's my thought, especially in marketing. What's $1,000 ad spend?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's $1,000 I could be throwing on ad spend instead of
also tax deductible.
Yeah, both tax deductible.
That's right.
You can find a way to reinvest the money.
Yeah.
That's not it's not like we've got no way to spend this money. Like, there's always, you know what I mean?
Yes.
I don't even know how we got onto this, but I'm in a pickle.
No, well, we're talking about, but even coming back again, let's go to that next level with the supercar.
Putting yourself, Addy comes in.
Yeah, so we could do it. I could do it now. I could go get a Ferrari. I could put it on the business account and come up with the money every single month.
Yeah.
And it's not only that, it's also, this guy says, whatever his name was.
Alberto,
yeah.
It's the Spanish sort of Mexican.
Yeah, I think so. He speaks English, but doesn't have an accent or anything.
Yeah, but I'll show you a photo. Let's just confirm we're talking about the same guy.
So, but he was also saying, look at who you've got that car now, join the clubs.
This guy?
Is it? Oh, I don't think it is actually.
No,
it's not.
Oh, really?
Yeah, some other bloke.
This guy bought a Ferrari when he couldn't afford one.
Yeah,
he's like, I'd worked so hard, put together like $100,000, and he went and bought a Ferrari.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely not him.
Definitely not him.
I'll send it to you when I find it, when I come across it again. But anyway, so he was the same mindset. He says, go get the Ferrari, but then go to the clubs, go to the meets, go to all that stuff with other owners of Ferraris. He goes, look at who you're going to be rubbing shoulders with and who you're going to be connecting with and who you can do business with. And he goes, then that Ferrari is going to pay for itself 10 times over in your first meet, just because you're connecting with the right people who are enthusiasts of the car, of driving, of obviously having a high level of success because they own a car like that, thinking differently. And even if you're just in the same room and you're the dumbest person in the room,
it's a good room to be in.
Good room to be in.
Yeah.
Good room to be in. So the vehicle can do a couple of things. What's to say you buy it and then it forces you not just to make that $1,000 a month, but now you go, well, fuck it. Well, I've got to make $1,000 a month, and I've now got to make another $3,000 a month as a result of having this car to really get things moving. Because now I need to come up with that other $1,000 ad spend as well.
Yeah. That's what.
So it can force you to level up in that regard and go, well, cool. And
So here's my question: Do you use that as a way of putting yourself out of your comfort zone? Like stretch yourself a little bit. Don't overstretch yourself. Don't go buy a $500,000 car that you can't afford to do payments for, or whatever it might be. But do you put yourself in the position, like, it's like you hear about property investors, and like to buy this, like they buy the first house, they stretch themselves, and then to buy the second house, you got to stretch yourself again. Like, and it's just like that stretch, like that's gonna, because when you when you got to pay someone, you fucking come up with the money, dude. When you got to pay yourself or put it aside, it becomes less.
yeah.
And
you should pay yourself first.
You should pay yourself first. One of the biggest principles from Rich Dad Poor Dad is pay yourself first.
Yeah.
Pay yourself first. All these other fuckers can wait.
Absolutely.
Pay yourself first.
Absolutely.
And then is this a way of paying yourself first?
Yeah.
Or is it not the best way? It might not be the best way. I don't know. But that's where
I think the biggest advantage is, at least because you're in business and you can claim that, there's that advantage to it too. If you were buying it with your disposable income, I'd say, look, probably not the best thing. And in all honesty, I wouldn't have the cars I have if I had to do it through disposable income.
like your own pay, yeah.
It's not worth it. It's not worth it. I'd be throwing money away doing it that way. At least this way, everything, the maintenance, the
skill, 100K?
Sorry? It depends on the vehicle. No, that's 150, I think.
150K.
Yeah.
So
but it also, that's a luxury car, so there's less that you can claim on it as a result. But then you've got the utes up to about 180, I think it is a complete tax write-off because it's classed as a commercial vehicle. So, so for you, even in yourself, you could say, yeah, well, cool, we put equipment in the back, cameras, all that sort of shit.
We do.
Absolutely. Absolutely mistake. But no, regardless, even if you put signage on the side of your ute, or get a magnet and put it on there every now and then, you know what I mean? It's still a vehicle that you're using for business purposes. And then you can start claiming fuel. You start claiming all your services, tires, brakes, like anything you need on that vehicle take it to the car wash, get it cleaned, tax deduction. Everything becomes a tax deduction. So it is a smarter way of doing it. And
but then do you have
get to, you get used to that level of living.
You don't go back.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So now you're living in a nice suburb, you're driving a nice car, and then maybe the next step is, okay, you know what? I want to live in this suburb. All right, you're in an apartment now. You go, next, I want a house. I want a 4-bedroom home.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
On the beach.
You're
and I want that next car. So now you got to go, cool, I now need to make this much money. And then each year, it's like you're saying, every year your business should make more money.
Last night I was walking on Beach Street.
Yeah, Beach Road, yeah.
The road that's on
the beach.
Yeah. And I was walking there at about 10:30. And I walked on one side, I walked up, and then I crossed the road, I was walking back, and I was looking at some of the houses that are on Beach Road, or like some of the, have you seen some of the apartments there? Like some of the big...
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was looking at them, and I'd see like a family sitting up there, and I think, like, I wonder what their situation is.
Yeah.
Like, they're obviously doing okay in life. That rent wouldn't be cheap, or they own it.
They own it.
Yeah. You know what I mean? So they're obviously doing okay in life. Like, are they business owners? Are they trust fund kids? Are they working like CEO on a, multiple 6-figure income that's doing very well?
Yeah, they're multi-million-dollar properties, all of them.
Oh, dude.
All of them are multi-million-dollar properties.
Yeah, there's a health benefit to waking up and seeing water every day.
Yeah.
Like, supposedly. Should track it. But yeah, it's like, how do you... And you hear of other people who are like in areas where it's not as great, and they stick around their whole lives there because they don't stretch themselves.
That's right. It's the comfort zone stuff, isn't it?
So,
well, maybe this is an element of you getting out of your comfort zone. Because if you don't need to make that money, and it's like we're saying, we're trying to get that $1 million, like what's $1,000 a month when you're trying to make $1 million a day?
Dude, 5 years ago, I reckon 5 years ago, I was 27-ish, and I moved out and I lived with 2 mates. Yeah, this was 5 years ago, just before COVID. And I lived with 2 mates, and we split the rent 3 ways. Okay, 3 of us living in a 3-bedroom apartment. Everyone had their own bedroom, and we'd split the rent 3 ways. And what we were paying in rent at that time, I pretty much pay now on my own. But at that time, I would have been like, not a chance. Yeah. Like, I can't do this. You know what I mean? And then you go from that to moving to another place where it was just me and a mate, and the rent was higher, so I had a higher share. And then he was moving out, so I was going to go from that to full, and then from that to this now more expensive. Like, and it's like, okay, those stretches, had I taken a big leap back then, I wouldn't have been able to do it. But the stretching over time, it's become normal. I've made it work.
That's
like,
right.
Somehow have made it, have not dropped, like, I'm not starving. I'm not, you know what I mean? Haven't, do most of what I want to do. Are there constraints? Of course.
Yeah,
but like,
absolutely.
I do most of what I want to do. I live pretty comfortably. And then it's like, maybe this is that thing. Maybe I'll never, or I don't know, maybe I'm completely wrong about this and I should hit a certain amount and say, cool, I got this much, I should go do that. And it's like, do you stretch yourself first? And then does it work differently for different people? Is there people who need the security more? I don't get scared. I used to get scared in the sense of money and that. Now I'm like, yeah, cool, I've been here. I'll find a way.
Yeah.
Like, I've been
So true.
Yeah.
So true.
I'll work it out. Like, why not? Okay, cool.
Okay.
How much? Like,
My advice, do it. And I say why.
I'm leaning towards doing it.
I'll tell you why. Go get it.
The Ranger.
Yeah, fucking oath. Fucking oath. I'll tell you what.
Got one lined up.
Because let's say it doesn't work out.
Yeah.
Or you go, look, do this and go, nah,
They'll
can't
come
do
take
this
the
anymore.
car. They'll come take the car.
What do you mean? Just sell it.
Oh, yeah, and just pay it off.
The car will hold its value.
That's why I was leaning towards a Ranger.
The car will hold its value.
They
I'll
hold
trust-
their value
it holds
ridiculously.
its value. But even if you drop $5,000, like, who gives a fuck?
Yeah. You just drove a Ranger for
You just drove it
$5,000.
or a year or whatever, or 2 years. Like,
Yeah.
just sell it. It's not. You're leasing the car. You know what I mean? It's just a repayment per month, and then that whether you keep it the full term or whether you put a deposit down, whatever you decide to do, it doesn't matter. You're going to get
you're
that
gonna
money.
survive.
That's right.
But
so
do
it's
you-
not really that full. Oh, it's $80,000. It's not. It's this much per month. That's all I have to come up
That's
with.
it, yeah.
per
It's
month.
going to make this much
Make it
extra.
happen. And let's look at it from another perspective. Say you now rock up to a client and you're in a brand new car. That's a current model, looks good. Most people would know they're roughly around that sort of figure. Oh, Robbie knows what he's talking about. Driving it around a nice new car. Must be nice.
You know what else is stopping me? So that's one thing. I'm leaning towards the Ranger because it holds value.
Yeah.
That's one thing. Is like, do I really need to this? Like, you know what I mean?
Let's be serious. You don't need it. No one needs anything. No one needs, when it comes to cars,
Yeah.
you need transportation. You need A to B.
You need 4 wheels.
You need 4 wheels.
Two wheels.
Yeah, 2 wheels.
One
whatever.
wheel.
I've seen them. Seen it happen. But you need a unicycle. Just bloke.
Yeah, it's like,
Get your shit.
hey, Robbie.
You just need transportation.
Yeah.
Even
Mike,
then, like,
you need a Mikey.
you can do. Yeah, you need a Mikey or Uber.
You need.
There's like, and I'll be honest with you now too. I'm probably going to be. I've got a couple of my cars up for sale, like company ones. Yeah, my Ranger's actually up for sale. Haven't had any calls on it, but I don't really care if it sells. It sells. If it doesn't,
How much are you asking for your Ranger?
low 50s, I think.
Yeah.
And
What
it's
year
a
is it?
3-year-old car.
2021?
Yeah, 21 or 20 or something like that. I think it's 21. Something like that. It's got about a year's left on its warranty. And it's dropped fuck all, like in value.
Oh, they hold massive
I know.
value.
I buy smart as well. Like I bought it. at a
Yeah, and that's why I was like, that's the
had
only reason
contacts.
why-
I'll hook you up as well after this podcast.
What?
Buy me with contacts.
I've got a guy.
I've got to go.
No, I've got a car ready.
I'll do ya?
Yeah.
Be curious to see what you get it for.
Yeah,
I'll hook you up. Anyway, be interesting. So, yeah, whether it's, I was contemplating not having a car for a bit because I know for a fact, I don't live far from the office. I could walk, it's a 15-minute walk every morning for me to walk to the office. And let's say it's pelting down with rain. Oh, call an Uber.
Get an umbrella.
$10. I've got an umbrella too, yeah. It'll cost me $10 in an Uber. Even if, and I've got other company cars here too. So some of my employees have got company cars as part of their package. Say, oi, say I don't have a car, say, oi, keys, I need to go to a meeting. Take their car. It's my fucking car anyway. All right? So I've always got a car available. My missus, if she's not using the car, hey, I need the car today. Yeah, take it. I can walk to pick up the kids. No big deal. Or if I'm at the office, my missus has the car, my employees have their car, they're out on site, catch an Uber. I'm not going to spend the $1,000 a month in repayment on that vehicle in Ubers.
No.
I'm not. Plus fuel. plus insurance,
rego,
plus rego, plus maintenance.
Yeah.
I'm not going to spend that money in the year, the $20,000 that the vehicle is going to cost me in Uber. I'm not going to at all.
You always convince me to.
No, just but this is like it's 100% it's true. And I think they did a study years ago about cabs when that was the thing. That if you didn't have a car and caught a cab everywhere, it was actually cheaper for you to catch cabs everywhere instead of owning a car with maintenance, wear and tear, depreciation, all that sort of shit. So I was going to trial that for a little bit, but I like the convenience of just getting in my car whenever I need to, not having to rely on anything or anyone. But mate, the fact that Uber is literally 3 minutes away.
Uber's not bad. Uber's not bad.
Any ride share, like it's so easy now. I can get on my phone and be anywhere in 3 minutes.
So our office is...
We'll have the car here in 3 minutes.
Our office is in South Bank. I live in Port Melbourne.
Yeah.
For anyone listening that's not from Melbourne, that's about... The office is about 4 Ks away.
Okay, so very close.
It's close, yeah. It takes me less than 10 minutes to drive in the mornings.
Yep.
And people say to me, you drive to work? Because it's literally one road.
Yeah.
Yeah. And people say, you drive to work? And I'm like, yeah. They're like, why don't you just catch a tram? And I'm like, because when I've just done a 14-hour day, I don't want to wait for the tram.
Playing so small. I
drive the tram. What, to save $50 a week?
I live 1.2 Ks away and I drive every fucking morning. I never walk. I live 1.2 K. I am a 4-minute drive from home to office.
Your car wouldn't even warm up.
All right. My car doesn't.
Yeah.
Doesn't get past the meet. Doesn't get warm.
It stays on
it's
C.
still cold. It stays on C the whole way. 4 minutes in the car. I don't need one. So, but those guys there, what's wrong with you? Why don't you ride your bike? Why don't you, catch public transport? Why don't you?
Yeah, who needs people? Why don't you just catch a tram? Like, why would you do that? And then I'm like, I don't want to do that.
Playing small.
They are.
Fucking oath. Think about it. I'll tell them. I'll get them on the podcast and tell them in front of their face.
Tell them.
But no, they're listening. So you're playing too small. So absolutely, there's that element that they're not being forced to level up. They don't have to go for that promotion. They don't have to do the extra hours. They don't have to come in on a Saturday. They don't have to try find a side hustle because they're comfortable. So maybe, it is a level of comfort. Maybe me and you, because we're trying to do sick shit, let's be honest. Fuck. We're talking about this every week, okay? And we're doing podcasts. We're stretching ourselves in our business in this. Like this, again, takes time. I could be doing 1,000 things right now. I see the payoff for this one day.
I think I know where you're going with this. I'm getting nervous.
Oh, yeah? But...
Are you going with
We're going to Armies right now. After this, fuck your Ranger.
We're going to Armies.
No. We've got... Do you know what we need to do? Is in you and me, forget the listeners and followers, and I hope you get inspired by this, but we need to keep each other more accountable. So, what are you doing now? It's been a month. We catch up monthly business-wise, but maybe we should catch up more so, fortnightly, and say, no, look, let's be serious. How are we going to get to take one of our businesses, let's make turnover 7 figures this year? How are we doing it? But 9 months left. Why couldn't we do it? Why couldn't we turn it into a 7-figure business by the end of the year? And the answer is we absolutely can. We totally can. And I'm so 100%. Does it mean we need to increase the offer? Does it mean we need to get some better people involved? Does it mean whatever it is? How do we do it? People are doing it every single day. Every single day. Why aren't we the known person to go to for that service? What do we need to do to get to be that? And I think we're pushing in the right direction. But are we playing big enough? Is that the question that we've got to put to ourselves? Are we playing big enough? Because we've also got that one business. We also have our other businesses, and it's like, well, what do you do? How do we get there? I'll give you an example. I'm doing something out of my comfort zone now. I'm in the process of. Can I say this without, I don't think it really matters. I am in negotiations to put a GM in one of my businesses.
Yeah.
And, fuck it, my construction business. That's gone. No fuck around. I'm here to help you guys. I'm not going to hold back. Yeah. So I'm looking to put a GM in my construction business.
Yeah.
That means I have to now find an additional X amount of dollars, and it's going to be a significant amount because you're talking about top of the tree.
Yeah.
Someone that knows their shit, someone that's driven and can drive the business,
Hey, great book for you to read, by the way.
please send it. I'll
Top
buy it right
grading.
now. What's it called?
Top grading.
Top grading.
Grading. It's all about how to get A players in your business.
Oh man, we should do a topic. We should do a podcast on that. We're going to do a top podcast. Where is it? Books to read. There it is.
It's got great tips, but it is a hard read.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I don't like hard reads.
Yeah, it's a hard read. But it's very useful information.
Yeah.
Actually came from Josh, the recommendation.
Oh, cool.
And
I'll suss it out.
He knows this stuff.
Yeah, suss it out. So putting a GM there. So it's going to be a significant amount of money. It's going to be a significant risk from my perspective. I've got to let go of a lot of control of the business.
Yeah.
Got to be open book. Here's the bank account. Here's the PIN number. Here's the fucking keys to the city.
Yeah, yeah.
Go sick. Have fun.
Yeah.
Right? But I have to step away from that. And that's going to not hopefully, the idea is for me to do that is so I can play a bigger game.
Yep.
Now I am forced to come up with his wage every single week, still pay myself, still pay employees, still pay all the subbies or the suppliers, and with the notion that he is not only just here to do a job, but grow the business as well.
100%.
So if I'm putting you in place, I want to see a 10x in the next 5 years.
Yeah. These are your KPIs.
Yeah, these are the KPIs. Like, don't fuck around. Fuck around, you're out. I'll get someone else in. So that's one thing. That will allow me another 40 hours a week, let's say. I'll still spend, say, 10 hours a week on the construction business. I'll still
buying your time back.
I'm buying my time back. What's that worth to me? So that means now I can focus on another 2-3 ventures that I'm going to look at.
Yeah.
And go, how do I get this to go here? How do I get this to go here? How do I get this to go here? Because I know if in one of the businesses, if I committed another 40 hours to it a week,
Yeah. It's your time, dude.
it's massive.
take it
It's
to another
massive.
level.
My current clients will get more out of it. My new clients will be begging to join. Will be begging to get involved.
Yeah.
And then I can sit back and turn around and say, here you go. Here's how I've got an 8-figure business under management. And I'm not involved. I can go on a 3-month holiday. I can drive we're talking about buying a Ferrari so we can pay it off. Just buy a Ferrari because I can.
Yeah.
Cash.
But buy a Ferrari for your employees.
Like,
Why could you not do that?
no, you could.
Yeah.
I'm saying you'd want them to be super. Like, yeah, absolutely. Why couldn't you? Here's your car. You want a company car? Well, you don't get a.
It's not superstars. They're not plebs coming out at 9:07.
Kind of fuck.
Do you know what I mean?
Do a topic on that. Tell you what. Yeah, without a doubt. Your senior executives making bank.
Yeah.
100%.
Your CEO.
I'd love to see that.
Okay,
And I would
part of your
never.
package.
You know what? I would
Imagine
never
you had a
think.
collection of supercars and you're like, hey, part of your package, like you come in, you run one of my companies, you get to take whatever you want from this.
Take one.
This is the collection. You can take whatever you want whenever you want.
Yeah.
You just got to make sure I'm not driving it.
Yeah, that's
Because I'll
right.
bash you. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
How cool would that be?
Yeah.
As a
Talk
leverage.
about manifestation for a second. So,
Yeah, hey, George just got a message for the listeners.
Yeah.
Is that why?
guys just bought my car.
Now?
Swear to God.
No.
Yeah. So I've made the deal. I made the deal. I swear to God. Hi, George. Please send the car details, rego, VIN, year manufacturer, trying to organise insurance. All right. So that's one of the cars I've just...
I was going to negotiate with you after this call.
Oh, yeah?
Nah.
Give you a discount.
I'll give you
Give you a discount.
turn it to an auction. Yeah.
It's like, hey, Robbie's offered this much.
Yeah.
Get your shit together. But why am I fucking worried? Why am I worried? Look how easy it was.
See, it's gone.
It's gone. I fucking shoot you guys a message.
Sign up to Uber One.
Stop listening to this on the... No, don't stop listening to it. Don't be stupid. Listen to it and then open YouTube at the same time so you can see the clip.
And then
I'll
sync
show you the
videos up and just watch it and just get 2 views from one.
And we get downloads everywhere.
Yeah.
You've just inspired me.
YouTube doesn't even count.
I know. That's why I never listen to it on YouTube. I never watch it on YouTube. I just go in there and like the video. Get the likes up. So sorry.
Cars gone.
Yeah. So we're talking about. I'm worried about buying a Ferrari so I can then go pay it off by doing deals. No.
No, so you were
The
talking about
conversation changes again.
making yourself uncomfortable or plopping someone into the business to run it.
Like that's me now forcing myself. So I'm more focused on that than buying the new car, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It's like, why spend 200 grand on a new car when I should spend 200 grand on a
Salary.
on a GM?
Yeah.
At the moment, that's probably where I'm at headspace wise, looking at that aspect.
But see, I think the same thing. And then I think, dude,
How
like $1,000.
I will buy that car.
Hey?
I'm going to get the car. I will get it.
Oh, so you're actually going to buy a car?
No, as in that MD, me putting on the MD isn't going to stop me from getting the car.
MD?
Sorry. Managing director. Oh no, sorry, GM.
Oh, managing
GM,
director.
sorry,
Okay.
the GM, not managing director. It'll be a GM. So that managing director, fuck's sake, GM.
Yeah.
It may slow it down. It's what the intention is that it's going to get me the car quicker.
Yeah. Well,
That's the idea. That's what you're
exponential
saying.
growth.
Absolutely.
Leverage.
We're saying we want to get superstars involved in the business.
Hey, so okay, talk about leverage. Okay, because that's what you're doing. You're leveraging your time. You're getting someone
Absolutely.
in. So this is what's in my head about leverage with the car situation. I'm thinking instead of putting that money towards the car, like if you can get that money, if you could make that happen, why don't you just hire someone, like hire a salesperson? Because at the end of the day, we spoke about this in a previous episode. You need to sell in your business, right? And I shared openly about how I wasn't selling as much yet, and there's a great example that someone shares in a video where they're like, you need to like even if you're the best salesperson in the world, like let's just say you and me are competitors. We're in the same business, all right? And you're the best salesperson ever. But I build a team. You can only compete with the team for okay, if I get a salesperson, maybe you'll beat him. If I get 10, maybe you're really good, then you beat 10. But you can't beat 10,000.
That's right.
Do you know what I mean?
Never.
Yeah, it's leverage. So no matter how good you are, this is always going to win. And then it's like, well, why don't I do that then instead of doing this?
Why not do both?
Fuck, you're right.
Yes, exactly. I feel that there's advantages on other spectrums that we're not considering.
With the salespeople.
No, with you getting a car.
What?
So even your mindset. Every morning you wake up, click, sick, love my car. How good's this? Your persona, how you hold yourself, your esteem, you're feeling good about it. You drive a nice car. You rock up to clients at meetings. You go to a cafe, you rock up in the brand new Ranger, nice, shiny, cleaned, whatever it is. Oh, wow. The perception of you. I think there's other advantages that aren't necessarily...
That feed into your unconscious mind.
They feed into the unconscious mind that you don't see a dollar figure for.
You can't
And
measure
people
it.
do that. They would assess you based on
You do.
on what you dress like, how you hold yourself.
That's just
did you do your hair? Are you dressed in brand? Are you dressed not? Are you wearing corporate clothing? Like what they make that assumption on you. And this is my other argument. I really want to do this one day where I rock up to the construction site in the Lambo as the owner of the company and just see, like out of curiosity, almost document it. Have Iggy there with me too. Say, hey, let's go for a drive. And just show and see, like have a mic, be mic'd up so no one can hear me. Or just know that I'm mic'd up and just hear what they say. Oh man, must be nice. Must be nice owning Pascon.
They would.
Must be 100%. They would.
I worked for a guy who owned a Lambo. He's a real estate agent.
Yeah.
And he owned a Lambo, and like that was the whole conversation.
Okay. You go to an auction. You're there to buy a house. I know someone that does this on purpose. And he goes, he's a family friend, a very, very wealthy gentleman. And he used to rock up to auctions in his Lambo and he would park at the front. He'd make sure he got there, 20 minutes early, and he would park the Lambo at the front of the property.
Why wouldn't you though?
Absolutely. He goes.
I park my Hyundai at the front.
wanted no. But he did it from a a perspective of
showing
intimidation.
Yeah, but so other people, what's the opposite of that? People go, nah, don't flaunt, blah blah blah. Be humble, park around the corner. What are you ashamed?
That's right. Like, why are you playing so small?
Yeah.
Like you should. I would do the same. I would rock up to the auction.
I would
in
be
the
in front
Lambo.
of the car.
Just toot.
Yeah.
Every time I toot, it's a.
I would just bid from the car.
Yeah.
That's it. I wouldn't get out.
You see, lean on the back of the car and just go, yep.
Yeah.
Thanks, I'll take that one.
Just lay it out of it.
But it straight away, everyone there's no, well, fuck, I'm not winning this property tonight.
Yeah, like this guy's cash.
This guy's got bank.
Yeah.
You think he's worried about $10,000 increments?
And
that's the other thing I would do. I hate when they go, I'll take $1,000. Sure, 20.
have you done?
Oh, I'll take $1,000. 20. Take that 100.
Yeah, just
Does anyone else want to bid?
Yeah.
Who else wants it? I'm taking this house today. Who else wants it? Do you know what I mean?
And then someone's like $1,000, and you're like, it's yours, man.
Yeah, exactly.
And then he's feeling.
Think I'm done?
Yeah.
Think I'm stupid? You think I got this Lambo by accident?
Pay $1,000 more than what it's worth.
Yeah. But intimidation. So now take it another level. I'm coming to build your house. We've got a nice home in. We've had this conversation too, and you said you would look at it from a different perspective just because of who you are. But say I was coming to build your home and I rocked up in a Bentley.
Yeah.
$500,000 car. Hey mate, thanks for meeting with me. How can I help? Like, I'm here to build your home. A lot of people would look at that and go, nah, we're not building with you. You're going to be too expensive, or look at this guy.
I think depending on the demographic.
Yeah, without a doubt.
where-
But I mean, let's be honest. If you're probably in that space, you're not going to rock. You're a person in that caliber driving a car like that isn't going to go rock up at a project that's a few $100,000.
Yeah, worth
Do you know what
less
I
than
mean?
the car.
Yeah, like
Worth
exactly right.
Yeah.
Worth less than the car. So if you're going to rock up to a home, like say you're building a two-rack mansion,
Yeah, like a $25 million home.
a $20 million home, you kind of be disappointed if they didn't rock up in a car like that.
Yeah, they work up.
But again, I mean, it'd be interesting to see the perceived notion of it, like what people
But
would think.
there is, dude. We make those judgments, whether you're consciously aware of them or not.
Yeah.
You do. And whether you, that's why I'm thinking,
I think it'd be of benefit to you. Honestly,
I do too. I do.
Looking at it from a holistic point of view, I think it would add a great level of, look, from an image,
It's just
from
like,
confidence.
it's just like, okay, let's step it up.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I used to have this, growing up, I used to think, how can I keep my cost per living down to a minimum,
Yep.
which served me at some points. Well,
Sick. Keep talking.
which served me at some points. I used to try and keep my living cost as low as I could. Do you know what I mean? Like if I don't need that, I don't, like what's it going to cost me to survive? Do you know what I mean? And what's that figure? Survival figure, and keep that as low as I could. Subscriptions, if you don't need them, don't do them. Or like, don't subscribe to that because they want money from you every month, and then your cost of living goes up. Whereas now my mindset's changed to a cash flow thing. Like it's not about how do I keep my cost of living down? It's just about how do I keep my cash flow up and like, you know what I mean? As long as my cash flow is higher, then that's it. That's all that matters. Do you know what I mean? Okay, we know that we need to pay $50,000 a month. Well, I need to be earning 100.
Yeah.
You know, and that's the mindset I've had since going into business, and it's all become okay, cool. Like it's not because, dude, with business, you will limit your business by trying to keep your costs down.
Oh, without a doubt.
You're trying, like, don't get me wrong, be aware of your costs, understand the numbers, know where your money's going. But if you just like won't buy new subscriptions or won't do new things or won't sign up to this or won't buy new equipment or you will limit the growth of your business. Won't hire someone.
Yeah.
You limit the growth of your business. But it's also it's a juggling act as well. Like you can't go and start a business tomorrow and incur $900,000 a month in.
Yeah, you're not going to go out and get
Employee.
an office in the most expensive suburb,
And hire
1,000 square meters, and you're only using the corner. Do you know what I mean?
Be sick on it.
Mate, you're a bit top corner.
Top corner, top George.
Top corner for Top George. So I was listening to a podcast the other day. Who was it? Brad Lee.
I like Brad Lee.
Yeah, I like Brad Lee too. If you don't know who he is, check him out. He's actually
Brad Lee.
the real Brad Lee, Lea. You spell that, his surname. Check it out, Brad. When you're ready, when you're in Australia next, we'll be happy to have you on the show.
50K.
Yeah, we'll get him. Be worth it. Be worth it. Worth to have a chat with him. And or even we'll go over there, have a chat with him. That'd be cool too. Brad, we're ready. We'll look it up.
He's cool, dude.
Yeah. Look, he's grown exponentially over the last couple of years since I've been following him. When I first started following him, he had about 50-odd thousand followers. He's now got millions. And purely from the perspective, he was playing a bigger game, built up his brand. He's got some highly successful businesses as well. So he's done real well for himself in that regard. But anyway, he's got a really enjoyable podcast focused around business, life, growth, all that sort of stuff. And
He doesn't beat around the bush.
No, he doesn't beat around the bush. His level of people that are guests that are coming on his podcast, they're increasing as well, higher profile type people.
Yeah.
So he started to make some moves.
Dan
Pena, do
You
listen
watch
to
it?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Dan Pena's cool. Do you like Dan Pena?
I think he's very full on.
Oh, without a doubt.
He's very,
Without a doubt.
very full on.
Like the things he says, oh, mate.
I don't give a fuck if your mum's dying. Call the person. You're like, dude.
It's very extreme.
Yeah, very extreme. But he also, I think
extreme.
he had a hard life growing up.
Yeah, but he won't say
hard
that. He'll tell you, no, that's how it should be. That's how it exactly
Oh,
is.
he
There's
doesn't think-
he doesn't think there's no real men out there anymore. There's nothing.
Yeah.
Like he's all over that shit. And he goes, my methods work because I've made trillionaires with all the people that have mentored me. Because if you add up all the net value of every single person that's ever been mentored by me, it goes trillions.
He also says, Adam, all the people in that space teaching I'm the only one that's ever made 9 figures or whatever.
Yeah.
He's like, other people claim that he goes, I'm the one that's done it. It's recorded.
Yeah.
Like, people know it.
Yeah, exactly. So you can't deny the facts
Yeah,
at the end of the day. Not the point I was getting to, but anyway, cool guy, check it out. Stay here first.
Yeah.
Listen to this one first, then go over there.
Bradley.
Anyway, he was talking about how his wife, or no, he was just talking in general, just any woman. He goes, if your woman's spending more money than what you're making, well, just make more money.
Yeah.
Like, you got to make more money. Now, he goes, a good woman won't necessarily spend more than you're making either. You know,
Yes,
your partner
yes.
will be on
I
board.
saw the exact.
Yeah, your partner will be on board with you, and they'll respect you and love you and support you if she's a good woman. But in the same token, if she's a good woman and she's spending more than what you're making, just we'll go out there and make more fucking money. And I kind of relate to that because I felt like that over the years, in the sense that we would. It's like you're saying, your level of what you're making every year needs to go up to match your lifestyle. Because we used to live in a suburb, but then we went to another suburb that was more expensive. Now we're living in another suburb that's more expensive. I've got 2 kids. I've got nice cars. I've got, I've got other.
And the cost of your business running goes up.
Yep, I've got
employees.
I've got 2 locations here. With the business. I've got. I go on holidays. I go like a whole range.
You're investing more into your businesses than ever.
Absolutely. So I look at everything there and I'm like, well, wow, I've achieved some pretty amazing things that I would never have thought even possible within the realm of possibility. And it's like you said, when I first got married, I was working for someone and it was like, man, to spend that much money on rent, how are we going to do it? Like, never done that before. It's like,
and you think you got a decent, and don't get me wrong, you might have a decent job or a decent wicket.
Yeah.
But, you would have, how old are you when you got married?
28, 27, 28, something like that.
Earning, anywhere between 80.
I was on 6 figures at that stage, but man, it's not stuff you're going to retire on. Do you know what I mean? And I know there was a lot of growth opportunity for me. If I was still employed now, I'd be on $500,000 a year. Yeah, I've got no doubt.
In the
construction space. Yeah, I've got no doubt. I'd be high hundreds.
Yeah. So, okay. Why don't you be the person paying someone $500,000?
Oh, without a doubt. Yeah, without a doubt. Without a doubt.
You can fork out $500,000 wages.
There are people in my company now that could make that, but they don't because they're playing too small. And as much as I try and coach them, teach them, inspire them, I got one of my employees I'm about to write a $13,000 check to. Actual check. I'm going to give him a check. Fuck him up. He has to go to the bank. No, he goes, what's this? I must go to the bank. Check it. But I'm going to write him a $13,000 check on top of his wage because he brought in a project to the company that I've said, anyone that brings projects in, I'll give you 1% of the contract value. So I'm like, here it is. There's your 13 grand. So pumped to do that. If I was him, I would have brought in 40 fucking projects by now.
Yeah, you would have a thing where I'm going to try and source projects as much. I
would have used that 13 grand. I would have called you up, said, oi, run ads for me.
Yeah, and then reinvest it. But you think like an entrepreneur.
I do. Yeah. But he can be an intrapreneur. So he's working for an entrepreneur, still generating a significant amount of income, but he's just not playing a bigger game. He's got that employee mindset. But I'm saying, like, you could make $500,000 a year and I would gladly pay it to you.
Yeah, because someone
I would be so fucking pumped and I would never think, I did that. I did that for him. No, you did that. I paid you, but you did it. Well done. I would love for someone to be working here for me, as you said, driving a Lambo into work every day. So no, don't worry about your company car. I'm going to get my own. Goes out, gets his Lambo, gets his whatever, his $500,000 car, whatever he wants. I don't give a shit. There you go. But playing a small game. Playing a small game. And I think until people start putting themselves out of their comfort zone, they'll continue to. They'll just sort of keep going to that level of comfort, even though it does raise over the years because cost of living gets more expensive. Your choices, your things that you want to do in your life do need money. I reckon you got to take that next step. So for you in this moment in time,
hold on.
Yeah,
not for me. We now both don't have cars.
Oh,
don't fucking just throw me under the bus here. This happened mid-live,
so we can
on street.
So in other words, Uber share, was it? Uber carpool?
Is that
we'll do that? So whenever we're going somewhere, call me so we can catch the same Uber and split the cost.
Uber carpool. That's the weirdest way I've ever heard anyone say Zagamis ever. Yes. What a strange way.
What a weird way to say it. We're gonna get there somehow.
Yeah.
Not fucking catching public transport, that's for sure. Shit.
No offense to anyone that catches public transport.
I am fully offending you.
You do.
This is a full offensive attack on anyone that
suits you.
on anyone that catches public transport. What's wrong with you?
Yeah. What's
Sitting on a fucking train? I couldn't think of anything worse. I used to catch public transport when I first started my job from eastern suburbs all the way to the city every single day.
Dude, I did it especially when I first launched this business, man. I was like, there was no income. I was like, we can't be spending stupidly. Like,
with that.
can't go pay for parking in the city and, do you know what I mean? So jump on a tram cost me significantly less, and it was worth it at the time.
Yeah.
And then also, like we said, you stretch yourself and level up.
Yeah, without a doubt, you level up. If you're still thinking, look, I think could be convenience too. Sometimes it might be quicker to catch public transport than to drive into the city. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I looked
with traffic and all that shit.
I looked the other day. Growing up, I would never take CityLink.
Oh, really? Because it costs money?
Really reduced the amount. Like, unless I had to, like, I wouldn't take it.
I used to take it, but it was linked to my dad's account.
Oh,
yeah. And then one day I come home and he opens up the statement of the bill. It was like hundreds of dollars. He's like, what the fuck? I'm like, what? He goes, because you're driving on CityLink all the time. He goes, yeah, look at this. It was worth this fucking $100. You think he's going to pay for all this? He's like lost it at me. He goes, you fucking hell. He goes, good life when someone pays for your CityLink. I didn't even realize how much it was. I just heard the beep. Oh, yeah, that's all right.
Dude, yeah. I've been doing that. I've been driving on like to go to my wherever I'm going. If it's quicker on CityLink, I'll go.
You value your time more now.
Yes, I'm not. If it's going to save me 10 minutes or 15 minutes, I'm going to do it. If it's the same time, I'm not going to do it. But here's the thing. I checked the other day and I was shocked at how much it's costing me.
Hey, you go buy a ute, it's more expensive.
Are you serious?
Commercial vehicle. Fuck yeah.
Dude, I'm spending like $200 a month on CityLink, and I'm like, well, that's a lot.
It is. It's silly.
That's like $2,500 a year.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's a lot to drive on a road.
Yeah.
But anyway, that would have freaked me out 10 years ago. And now I'm just like, okay, like we'll reduce it where you can, but it's an expense that's getting your time back.
Yeah. So I looked at that when I got my
you're
office.
surviving.
Yeah. When I got my office here, where we are now in Port Melbourne, I had an office in Hawthorne. No? Yeah, Camberwell. Had an office in Camberwell. And in the mornings, because I start early, it took me 15 minutes from Port Melbourne to drive, because I was living in Port Melbourne at that time. It took me 15 minutes to drive to the office. On the way home, it took anywhere between 45 to an hour because of the traffic. Now, let's just say 2 hours a day I was wasting in transit to and from the office. So that means, I either left work a little bit earlier or I got home later, but that was time out of my life. Then you take into consideration stuff like your CityLink and fuel and all those things. So it was probably another, as you said, I think I was closer to $5,000 a year in tolls, plus all the fuel, plus sitting in traffic.
It adds up, dude.
I looked at it and go, it was worth me spending more money acquiring an office in the area
than
what it was to go to that space. So that's why I looked for an office that was literally 5-minute drive from my home, because I wanted to be close to the office. It means I can get home quicker. I can always go duck down the road, pick up the kids if I need to from school. I value my time. Like, my time isn't rushed anymore to get out of the office so I beat the traffic. Like, no, I can stay till 6 o'clock because I'm home in 4 minutes. I can stay till 5:30. I've got the options. My time and the money I can make in that time trumps all of it. So I just balanced that thing out. I said, oh, cool. And it's even smart for you, like having your office in South Melbourne. You're not having to go, it's around the corner. It's around the corner.
It's something to think about, huh? I can't believe your car got sold while...
Look, I did sell it previously, but the guy hadn't confirmed picking it up yet. Like, it's not sold until it's sold. Do you know what I mean?
It's not sold until...
Like, he's put down a deposit, but it's been a few weeks. I'm like, mate, what the fuck's going on? Do you know what I mean? Till the money's in the account, the deal's not done. So, good that the deal is actually finalised right there and then, which is great.
Maybe it's a sign.
Sign to go to Zagami's. Anyway, did I even tell the story? We were talking about after the podcast how we're going to buy the Ferrari to get into the tent at the F1 so we could sell the deal. I went onto Zagami's website straight after that website. I didn't tell you that. So you go full circle. So I went on there and I found the cars. I opened up like 30 tabs. So I looked at all the cars that they had for sale. I opened up the tabs, looked at the specs, Said, okay, this. There was one that was $1 million. I said, no, that's a bit too much. We'll close those ones down.
What was it?
And I found it was a Ferrari. I can't remember which one. Anyway, I found one. I found 3 cars. It was a Lamborghini 4-wheel drive, a Porsche GT3, and then a Ferrari as well. I can't remember which one. All around that $400,000 to $500,000. Say 550. I was like, cool. These are one of the cars. I was actually going to send you both links and say which one. Which one again?
I can't believe you did it.
But I was playing a bigger game. Honestly, man, I've researched what it was going to cost a month. This was on the weekend, so I had some time to kill. So researching what it was going to cost a month. I was going, okay, well, which entity am I going to do it from?
You need to know that.
I was going to go, which entity am I going to do it from? How can I make this work? Which business can do it? And we go, if I buy it, in all honesty, cars like that are generally not going to lose their value. It's just a matter of how long it's going to take you to sell. Yeah. You're not necessarily going to have buyers in a week. So it was a whole range of things that I was looking at then. And man, I'm so serious about making, and then that's when I randomly found this guy that was like, buy the Ferrari, go to this, go to these meets, go to that, you'll pay for it 10 times over. It's like, man, imagine I drive this Ferrari now to both of us, we go for a cruise. And I go there and I meet up with someone and say, hey, what do you do with this? I am a builder. Oh, mate, I'm actually looking for a builder.
Yeah, I want to build a $29 million home. Can you price that up for me? And you win the job. That's it. Car paid for, done, and some, plus the connections you're going to get, plus what you,
and things like this. By the way, here's Robbie. Oh, Robbie, hey, man, what do you do with stuff? I do this.
Driver Ranger.
That's my job. So, but and it's even you, like say, what do you do? Oh, we do this. We do digital marketing. We do content creation. We do all this sort of shit. Oh, mate, do you know what you could do? All right. Have you seen those really cool zooming in and out videos with your cars? You've seen them on the Lambos where they zoom into the badge and it zooms out on the wheel and it goes around the car. Imagine you could do a package for everyone in the group and say, hey guys, we've got a special for everyone. If you want us to do this with your car for you to use just for your own personal enjoyment, we'll do it for $3,000 or $2,000. And you get 50 people go, yeah, absolutely. Let's do it. We're down.
And $2,000-3,000 for them and stuff. And then they're like,
nothing. It's like, yeah, absolutely.
You transferred 20. Nah, it's fine.
Yeah, just keep it. But that's the level you're playing at. You know what I mean? And this is where it's so interesting, but you've got to get out of your way. You've got to get into that space and get out of your comfort zone. That's where real growth is, guys. You will only ever grow when you are uncomfortable. You will never grow when you're comfortable. If you're sitting doing the same shit every single fucking day, you need to grow. You want your relationship to be better? If you are sick of being in Groundhog Day every single day, do you understand that reference for fuck's sake? Because I know you don't watch movies. Yes. Groundhog Day. Yeah. Okay, good.
I'm pretty sure it's like the same thing over.
The day keeps happening over and over again. He wakes up 8 o'clock in the morning and it's the same day and he relives it every single day.
Most people's lives.
But if you want more out of your relationship, do you really think it's going to get better just by you doing the same shit every single day? No. You need to actually have a conversation with your partner and say, hey, I want this, 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 and this. Hey, let's go on a holiday. Let's go to therapy. Therapy isn't just when shit's bad. You know what I mean? Just communicating how to read a book. There are books out there about how to better relationships. You're putting yourself, you need to go, hey, you know what? I've got a mediocre relationship. I want it to be better.
Yeah.
That's uncomfortable. That's an uncomfortable conversation with yourself, to admit that to yourself, to admit that to your partner.
Because then you have to do something about it.
Do something. You can't just go, but the next episode of Netflix is out, so I'm going to watch that.
But that's the easy
thing.
That's the thing. It's like when I lay down,
you're not going to divorce me.
Yeah, when I lay down on the couch, anyway. So I'll sort it tomorrow. Today I just don't want to think as much.
You know what? I've got a dad bod. I'm just going to keep being fat because my missus isn't going to divorce me.
Have you seen the Andy Elliott thing where he's like, your missus doesn't want you to have a dad bod.
Yeah.
Stop fucking lying to yourself. She wants you to have a six pack.
Yeah.
Get it together.
Yeah, that's it.
You're like, fair point.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. The other thing that I like with Andy Elliott, which I cannot wait to do. You sent me the video. I'm like, that's so fucking cool.
Oh, yeah.
So cool. And he's Andy Elliott's there. If you don't follow him, I don't care. Like, do what you want. He's also very abrupt in his approach with how he'll try and motivate people to achieve excellence.
Oh, dude, very makes a fat person take the top off in front of everyone and says, "Are you happy with your body? Grab your fat, grab it." He's like, next time you want to reach for the donut, grab your stomach at the same time.
Yeah,
it's like, dude.
Yeah, but it's also, I love he came out and said this, a little bit off topic, but I'm going to get back to that little reel that we're talking about. He goes there, I will not hire you unless you have a six pack.
Yeah, I think that's sick.
I think that's fantastic.
Discipline. How can you look after B if you're not going to look after yourself?
What a great fucking thing to say. I almost want to say this next time I'm hiring someone. I say, listen, I go, you're only allowed to work at this business. Imagine that though. Imagine I did a video saying, hey guys, great news and fantastic opportunity for a high performer to join the team. There are a couple of things that we're looking for. One of those things is you actually need to have a six pack. Okay, if you are not in peak physical condition, you cannot work at this business. You'd say, hey, practice what you preach. Yeah, don't be a fat fuck.
To be in peak.
Exactly. And say, oh, you got to be hot to work here. It's not about being hot. It's the discipline. It's the commitment. It's the comfort factor. You've got to be uncomfortable to get a six pack. You cannot be comfortable having a six pack.
No, because there's going to be days where you want a donut or you don't want to go to the gym.
Regardless of that, the hard work it takes work to get that. And as you said, if you can't look after yourself, how are you going to look after me? You watch that sort of video will go viral. First of all, I'll probably get on the fucking current affair as we're trying to do so hard.
Trying so hard. What's the lady's name?
Who? Martha.
Current affair? Martha
Stewart. I don't watch that shit. But do you know what I mean? Like that's something for me to say, oh, what's wrong with you? What's wrong with me? What's wrong with you? You're fat. Like, why can't I call you fat if you're fat? You are fat. You are overweight.
Yeah.
It's not
based on your choice. Based off 99.99%
your dress size, your BMI, everything. You are out of shape. You are overweight. How are you a high performer for the business? For yourself in your own life? And then you expect me to pay you to be a mediocre performer? And I even go as far as you look at multi-millionaires that are out of shape. I'm talking guys that are minted, that are fat. Not fat, like pushing obesity.
Yeah,
they're not a high performer.
No, yeah, dude. This is go back to my
with
elite.
What'd you say with Dave Chappelle?
Elite thing, yeah.
Elite, absolutely.
Yeah. Like you are good at one thing, but you're not mastering life.
That's right. And that's partly, that was one of the greatest motivators for me to actually get into shape and to start training.
Dave Chappelle?
It's because no, the whole concept of me standing on stage and telling everyone in the audience, hey guys, you need to be high performers. You want to be the best builder, you got to do this, you got to do this, you got to do this. And me being out of shape. I felt like I was being hypocritical because I was watching myself, because I'd watch, say, any content that we created on the day, videos, flashbacks, all that sort of stuff. And I was watching myself. I was wearing a t-shirt on our very first event we did. I was wearing a t-shirt. It was relatively fitted. The sides were popping out. Love handles. Look, I see that. You probably didn't even fucking think twice about it. Wouldn't have thought twice. And 99% of the people wouldn't have thought twice, but I saw it and it pissed me off. It pissed me off enough to say, that's got to go. I'm going to lose all that weight. I'm going to get into the best shape. And then when I stand there, next time I'll get up on stage and take my top off. Not because I'm showing off. So, wait.
You gonna take yourself off on stage?
When I hit that goal, yeah, I'll do it.
Are you gonna have a six-pack by 40th?
I need to work out every day.
Do it.
Yeah, that's what I had. That's the conversation I had this morning with my trainer. It's like, well, what do we need to do to get there? He goes, this is what we're gonna do. Let's do it. So I gotta start eating proper. I gotta eat well. I gotta just follow the diet, follow the nutrition, follow the exercise regime, be disciplined. All right, there's gonna be days where I don't want to go. Gotta go.
Yeah,
don't fuck around. So I'll do that, not from a perspective to go, look at me, look how hot I am, look at this, you guys are beneath me. Be disciplined. Show a photo before and after. So this was me before, this is me now. This has been the change in the last 12 months. In 12 months, I've had to do the reps. I'm not going to sit here and tell you guys, do all this business stuff and coming from someone that doesn't have the level of discipline that's required.
Do you know what the best part about that is? You can turn around and say, I didn't have to do that. I was making bank when I was like, and had people listening to me, people were coming to say, I didn't have to do that. Didn't have to. But this just shows you the way I think. Do you know what I mean? I saw that and I thought, no, I'm not going to settle for that. Yeah. No. Let's go.
And then what Andy Elliott does is he'll actually point someone out in the room, go, you, Stir, come up here. Yeah. Take your top off.
Yeah, and that's full on. Yeah.
That's full on. It is. It's very extreme, but it also gets he gets those results from that person. He goes, I want you to understand something. I'm not doing this from a point of hatred or anything. I'm doing this out of love.
You don't. Yeah. He's like, you don't. Because you're not happy with your body.
Yeah, you're not. Like,
it's true.
Absolutely, it is.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I'm a fan of him. I think
I like the concept and the video that coming back full circle. That video that you sent me that I loved. He was there. He goes, hey, everyone. He goes, this is just a reminder to apply sunscreen on your body when you're standing on your super yacht.
Yeah.
So he's there in his six-pack, rubbing sunscreen on his stomach on his super yacht.
So
and that's it.
Yeah, that's the whole video.
That's the whole video. Just a reminder. Because I want you to take care of yourself. You need to put sunscreen on your body when you're standing on your super yacht.
Like, good.
How good is that? And that, to me, you get so many people going, fuck you, you're a loser, or what? So you're only successful if you've got a six-pack. Comfort zone.
Let them have.
Comfort zone.
Kill your comfort zone, guys.
Kill the comfort zone. Man.
Fuck it, I'm going to buy this Ranger.
No, I'm going to get onto Twitter. I'm getting onto Twitter right now.
Tag me.
Kill your comfort zone. I tagged you in the last one. Did you say that?
Of course I saw it.
Of course.
Be sold it yourself.
Be sold it yourself.
Kill your comfort zone.
Kill your comfort zone. If you don't get anything out of this podcast, get that.
Stretch yourself.
Kill the comfort zone. I want you, you know what? Do a little exercise. Whether it's now, whether it's tonight, I want you to list all the things in your life that are comfortable. Right? All the things in your life right now that are stopping you from achieving the greatness. Where you just not performing to your peak. Because you know what it's like? It's like everyone has a story of, I could have played AFL if I wanted to. You know, I was always, when I was under 12s, I was the best player. I won all the B and Fs. When I was 18, I was like the best player at my team. I got recruited, but I turned it down. I just couldn't be bothered. No, you weren't good enough.
Yeah.
You weren't good enough. You didn't put in the reps. You didn't try hard enough. That's why you never got to that pinnacle of success. And then that's transponded into the rest of your life.
Yeah, and I think we are too casual about everything.
Yeah. It's too easy to give you, sick. How good is this podcast? We're too quick to give ourselves excuses to fail.
Yeah, we're too casual about it. We're like, I did something about it. But is that the only thing you can do?
Yeah.
Why don't you do more? Why don't you do, is that the best you can do there?
Yesterday, I was driving my son and his friend to football training, and I'm the coach there. And his friend was talking, and he goes, hey, Stevie, to my son, he goes, if we play AFL one day, he goes, which team would you play for? And I go, Joel, stop. I want you to say when. I go, do you want to play AFL when you're old? Is that what you want to do? He goes, yeah, absolutely. Okay. Ask Stevie the same question and say when instead of if. Say, when we play AFL one day, what team do you want to play for? And he asked the question. I go, do you know why I asked you to do that? And I explained it to him. I said, because when you say if, you're giving yourself permission to fail. Because it's like, if we do it, because we might not, but if we do.
Yeah. And if we don't, we'll do this.
And if we don't, like, I'll just go play, I'll play in the ones at South Melbourne. It's like change the language. And then we started talking about other things. I said, do you guys want to be better at football? Like, do you want to win the BNF this year? He goes, yeah. And I told him, I said, I actually gave you all the votes this week, Joel, or last game. He goes, because he kicked 4 goals. He did really well. I go, do you want to win the BNF this year in the team? And he goes, yeah, I do. I said, well, you and Stevie grab the footy at lunchtime, grab the footy at recess, and I want you to do 100 kicks a day.
Yeah, practice.
Practice every single day, because I promise you, if you don't, you will never play AFL. You will never play AFL. You need to be obsessed with it. You need to be so obsessed with improving every aspect of the game and doing as much as you possibly can. And he goes, because they complain at school, my son and him, they'll say, everyone wants to play soccer at the moment. No one wants to play footy. I said, do you want to play footy? He goes, yes. I go, do you want to play footy? He goes, yes. Grab the football. That's it. Grab the football and kick it to each other. And eventually your friends will either come across and go, can we play? And you'll say yes.
You'll be better than everyone else.
Yeah, exactly. You'll say yes, or you're going to turn around and you'll be like, no, we just want to practice our kicking. Leave us alone. And you keep kicking, you keep kicking, you keep kicking. You do 100 kicks a day. That's going to be 500 kicks, probably more, say 600 kicks because of training before you play every single game. You're going to have 500 more kicks than every other kid on that team. 500 more kicks. And I go, you do that in a week, you do that in 2 weeks, you do that in a month. You guys will be the best players on the team by far.
That makes a difference, man.
Absolutely.
And it's uncomfortable.
It's uncomfortable. They have to kick the ball that many times.
Yeah. It's, can I do
discipline?
You know?
We
do it one day, yes.
It's cold today.
We do it once a week.
Yeah.
Do we have to do it? No one else is doing it.
Yeah. And then I come back and I show my son stuff like Kobe. You know, how he used to shoot 1,000 shots before every game.
Have you watched Man in the Arena?
No. Where's that one on?
Disney.
No, I haven't.
Tom Brady.
Oh, okay, cool. I haven't seen that one.
It's only a couple of episodes. It's decent.
Yeah.
Did you know Tom Brady? Tom Brady, right?
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Did
you
I don't
know
know
Tom
much
Brady
about him, but
was the sub quarterback?
no.
And they had a superstar quarterback first to earn 9 figures called Drew Bledsoe, and he got cleaned up, knocked out, and Tom Brady had to step in, and the guy never got his position back. He was the highest paid quarterback, not Tom Brady, the other guy, the highest paid quarterback at the time. So Tom Brady was sub for the best quarterback in the game, and that guy got cleaned up, and Tom Brady had to step in, did so well that the other guy never got his position back.
How good's that?
Sick.
Not for the other guy.
Not for the other guy, yeah. No,
Never heard of it. I don't know what he's
Drew Bledsoe. Yeah, no one's ever. He never got. He
never played again.
He only got a game when Tom Brady was injured.
Yeah, but I'm surprised he didn't go. If he was the best, you would think he would get recruited by someone else.
He did. He ended up leaving.
Yeah, of course you would.
Pretty sure, yeah. Pretty sure he ended up
His
leaving.
career might have been great, but to the extent I've never heard of him. And not that I've ever followed the NFL. Like if I did, maybe
I had never heard. When I heard the name, I was like, it sounds like a familiar name, but I wouldn't. If you asked me the question, I couldn't answer it.
Yeah. So you look at these exceptional people that achieve exceptional things in their life. You know, back in 1996, when I was in grade 6, social media didn't exist. Yet I knew who Michael Jordan was.
Brad.
Exactly. He was the biggest player. He was the best player. He did the most extraordinary things. And people at school were wearing number 23. And there was no such thing as social media, whereas now everyone knows everything. But that's the level of, for Jordan to achieve that, he needed to be out of his comfort zone. For Brady, for all these people, Brian, James, all those guys, they needed to do exceptional things. They needed to be obsessed. So be obsessed or be average. Sort your shit out.
I'm going to buy the car.
I hope, man, 100%. 100% you should. After talking about this podcast, got no doubt. No doubt. Awesome. What a great episode.
That was a good episode. Yeah, you know what?
I know what.
You know what?
I know what you're going to say.
What?
Say it, so then I can agree.
Oh, you actually know what I'm going to say?
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I'm going to say...
I never even spoke about what I intended to talk about.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. We just rolled the just today.
I was going to talk about something else. And then,
really?
Yeah, that was not the intention of the conversation at all.
And we just
I was going to go...
hour and a half.
Yeah, Good episode. We'll save the topic for the next one.
Yeah, without a doubt. We've got lots of topics to talk about. Hey, I've had a few people reach out to me as well to jump on the podcast and say how much they're enjoying it too. So
yeah,
we'll definitely get some more guests on. It's funny, I always anticipated we would be doing more guest interviews when we did this podcast. I didn't actually think it would be just you and me, or the majority you and me talking. And I must say, I think I enjoy it more.
I think it's a more flowing...
I think if I was to bring a guest on, I'd really want them to be bringing some decent value, not just have a guest because they're have someone on and talk about it. Do you know what I mean?
Or it's going to be someone that can come in and join in on this conversation.
Yeah, without doubt.
So I feel like, and viewers share this feedback with us somehow, but I feel like we may have focused too much on the guests initially.
Send us facts.
Facts. Yeah, send us a fax, and then we'll pay you with a check.
Have you ever sent a fax?
Me? No, never.
I couldn't imagine you do.
Well, oh yeah.
Couldn't imagine you have. I have. I've sent fax.
I don't seem like the sort of person that could.
Do you look like the guy that would have ever sent a fax before?
No. Wouldn't even know how to send a fax. I actually wouldn't know how to send a fax.
Oh, I'd be surprised if it ever even existed anymore. I'd be really surprised. Little bit off topic, but yeah, I'm enjoying the nature of it, and I think a lot of people are too. Getting a lot of value out of what we're talking about because it's from real life experiences and it's from real life problems.
See, there's a problem now.
This is what, sorry?
There's a problem.
With what?
I'm going to have to go buy this car now.
I can't wait.
I cannot not buy this car.
Can I be the first one to go for a drive with you?
Right. You can pick it up.
Sick. Yeah, that's even better. Yeah, when you go pick it up, we'll go together.
I'll discuss the details with you as soon as we get off this.
So good. Good. Okay, many of you are listening, have been listening for a long time, maybe you're first-time listeners. Regardless of what part of the journey you're on with us at $1 Million Days, the one thing you're probably not doing...
No, hey, actually, I'm going to cut you off there. Should we have segments like George... What are you going to... What's George flips? It's like, what are you going to flip about this week, George? And then you're like, I fucking saw this guy. And then Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Do
Kind of
it.
like a show. And it's like, we got segments.
Do it. It's like, so we're going sideways, but that happens here. Get used to it.
Yeah.
Get used to it. It's like the other day you mentioned to one of our mates, Craig, if you're listening, shout out. And you go, oh, have you been listening to the podcast? He goes, oh, no, I haven't listened to the last few episodes. And he goes, fuck, because you should have heard George in the last one. And he's like, what? Because he said he was going to employ more women because he pays them less and doesn't have to give them the same rights as male employees. He's like, no, he didn't. Because yeah, he did. Because I swear to God, that's exactly what he said. Because he didn't mean it, did he? I don't know. You probably have to listen to the podcast and find out.
Watch the episode.
And for any of you that haven't heard that episode, you got to find out. You got to tune in and find the episode and see if I'm serious or not.
But how good would the segments be? Right?
Yeah, like that doubt.
Yeah, like this every single time. It's like what do you got to flip about this week, George? Oh, what's your takeaway? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
What book are you reading? Or what do you? Yeah, you know what I mean? And it's like, George, what are you going to lose it about? George loses it.
What, the top F, or top flip.
Yeah.
But
you know
you
what I mean?
should do one too, though.
Yeah, of course.
Love top flips.
It'd be weird if I said it and then said, this is what I'm going to do. I had to give you the example.
Too much.
All right. So to finish off what you were going to say before, though,
Full circle.
need to subscribe to the channel to make sure you don't miss the upcoming segments.
That's
You know
right.
what I mean? You need to make sure you flick those notifications on.
And it also helps us grow the channel too.
Yeah. And
it
this
helps
gets
us,
updated.
it helps us
Dude,
reach out.
Hey, we've been so consistent.
So good. When you
Had
told
not
me
missed
last-
a single week.
Haven't missed a week. We've been doing this consistently for close. What's the episode? This will be over 30 now.
This will be 30, I'm pretty sure.
Is it? A big 3-0. 30 weeks in a row this podcast's been running.
30 weeks in a row. How good.
That was a high five for people listening into
Yeah.
that. That was a high five. 30 weeks in a row. We started out, we said we're going to do a podcast. We bought the gear. We've been consistently doing this every single week out of our comfort zone because this is uncomfortable right now. I know my phone, I've got a few missed calls, got messages, got employees wanting stuff from me, but we make the time to make this work because it's important. It's important to you. It's important to us. And it's a lot of fun. Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, guys. Peace out. See ya next week.
See you guys.